I'm Angie Cordle. I'm a special education teacher at Prestonsburg Elementary. Today I'm going to talk about student behaviors and how I try to work with them in the classroom. Okay, so understanding the behavior. What is the antecedent, the behavior, or the consequence? Well, that's the ABC. The antecedent is the trigger. That is what happens just prior to the behavior. What event do you think caused the behavior? Then the behavior is the student's response, and then the consequence. It's the following action after the behavior. That's what we do to try to maintain the behavior, to correct it, so to speak. So one of determining triggers is very important, and the way that we can do that is we build relationships with our students. Trying to figure out our students, giving them the opportunity to trust us and build the relationships so they will talk to us. Parent conversations is an amazing way to find out what their child likes, doesn't like, what may make them angry, things that make them sad. Great way to figure out that. Observations. Watch the students. You don't have to say anything. Just go in the classroom and watch them. See how they react to their peers, to other teachers. You don't have to say anything. Go in, be quiet, watch them, respond to different students. They don't have to know that you're watching them. Locations. Where does the behavior happen? Is it in the hallway? Is it when they're going to the restroom? Is it only happening in lunch? Does it happen first thing in the morning when they get here? Does it happen before they go home in the evenings? Could it be during math time, reading time, writing? All that goes into play. And of course then the times. Is it a certain time of day? Is it happening every day at 12 o'clock? Or is it happening, every day at 8 o'clock in the morning? Just kind of determine where the triggers are happening, when, and get to know your student. Students' feelings. It's very important that we learn our students, that we know them. We need to know how they're feeling. We need them to know how to respond to how they're feeling. We need them to be able to tell us, hey, I'm feeling sad, or I'm happy. We need them to be able to tell us, but they need to be able to recognize it themselves. So some of the things that I have learned is the zones of regulation. So this book you can get off of their website. You may be able to order it elsewhere, I'm not sure. But this has been researched, and it's full of great information. I've used it regularly. As you can see behind me, I've got things highlighted here. It shows the different zones. It's just full of amazing information. But if you look over here to my side, you can see how I have the zones in the blue zone, the green zone, the yellow zone, the red zone, and I have the students' feelings in the middle so that they know which zone they may be in. I had students, I had a boy and a girls, and I had different ones, and they had their names, and when they would walk in the mornings, they can put their picture or how they're feeling in whatever zone they feel like they are in. Another thing that we do in this classroom too, and I use them kind of coinciding with each other, is conscious discipline. This is also another research-based program, and we had a training on it a couple of years ago, right before COVID, and of course we weren't able to use it until recently to use it to its full ability. But one of the things is that they have the dolls, and you can see I've got them labeled, and I tried to make their faces as close as I could to angry, scared, sad, happy, frustrated, anxious, disappointed, and calm. And if a student comes in and just say that they are very anxious because they're just not, they don't understand something, they're feeling overwhelmed, they can get this doll, and they can actually go. I've got a rug that they will go and they'll sit on that rug, and I've got some little things that are just like calming tools and they can take the doll, and then they can go over and sit it down, and that lets me know that they don't have to come and say, hey, Miss Cordle, I'm feeling this way. I can see, because I have the dolls hung up on the wall, and I can see how little Jane's feeling, that she's having a hard time with something, so she'll get it. She'll go sit down on the rug, she'll get some of the calming tools over there and try to calm herself down. Very great way. And then, of course, I have the PBIS is the system that we use across the district. PBIS is the world that I have up here is a great way to help you develop behavior plans if you need one. They've got for ADHD, they've got for anxiety, anger. I mean, there's just a whole list. So you can click on any of these 3, and it'll take you to the websites and help you. It'll guide you through what you might need. It's very great information. So how can we help the student? So one of the biggest things that I try to do is, I have some students who just really have a hard time. I mean, you've got different disabilities, and they may have a hard time, and they need to know how everything's going to play out for the day. Now, that's a normal day. That doesn't, we may have a fire alarm go off. There's things that we can't plan for, but I try to plan the best that I can. So I use a visual schedule. Now, I created this myself. This, I think, is like a second grade schedule. And I just put the times for each subject. So I started with morning work. So the students come in 7:45. So from 7:45 until 8 o'clock, they'll do their morning work. It's desk work. Then they have SEL time from 8 to 8:30. Then they'll do phonics from 8 to 8:20. Then they'll do their phonics from 8:20 until 9. They have reading class from 9 to 9:30. And then I put a picture of myself to let the student know, hey, at 9:30 to 10, you go to Miss Cordle. Then from 10 to 11, they're going to have math. From 11 to 11:20, they'll do lunch. 11:30 to 11:50 is their wellness time. Related arts is 11:50 to 12:40. Math is 12:40 to 1:10. Then they get reader's choice 1:10 to 2, and that's just they'll get a book. It could be a comic book, any type of whatever they have an interest in to work on. And then 2 to 2:50 is their science and social studies time. Then 2:50 to 3 is snack time, and then 3 o'clock is when they get to go home. And so another thing that I also have that goes along with the zones of regulation is I created this little flip book. And this is what I was talking about, getting to know your student and the triggers. Parent contact. Great. Parents can tell you, hey, little Jane doesn't like loud noise. For instance, this child, if they get the triggers, what triggers this child is loud noises, when they get hungry, if they're tired, if they hear something like a baby crying or somebody screaming in the hallway, dogs barking, or unexpected routine change. So if we know, like if I know with this student, if I know there's going to be a fire alarm, I'm going to let them know, hey, there's going to be a fire alarm today. It's okay. As I said, things happen and you can't control it. But this just goes with them. And they can carry this. So if they have an aide, if they go to a different teacher's room, everybody knows, hey, this is what triggers this kid. Let them know. This student may get upset over, a change in routine. Hey, let them know. Well, we're going to have to change this today. Now, the blue zone, I just put this student in here. But if it's a boy, I have a little boy forum. If it's a girl, I use the girl one. And then I have a baggie on the back that has every zone in it. And it allows them, it tells how they're feeling, and it gives them things that they can do to help them get into a different zone. Because the main zone is to be in the green zone. And if you look at the back, I've got this on there too. It says the blue zone is when they're sad, sick, tired, bored, or just moving slowly. In the green zone's where we all want to be. Happy, calm, feeling okay, focused, ready to learn. The yellow zone is frustrated, worried, being silly or wiggly, excited, or loss of some control, but they're still in control. They're just almost, they're losing a little bit. And then the red zone is when they're mad, angry, terrified, yelling, hitting, elated, or out of control. And this helps the student recognize how they are feeling, and it gives them a sense of recognition as well, because it lets them know what they need to do and self-monitoring, so to speak. So back to the schedule. When I use the schedule, and we talk about rewards, so I get, knowing the student, I have created the schedule, and inside is a first and then down here is the rewards. So I will go over to this side and pick whatever it is. So if it's reading, and then they're going to go to math, I'm going to put the reading first, then math. The student knows at all times, okay, I have to do this class first, or this first, and then I get to do this. Then I go down here, and they get to choose their reward. Now, this is specific to each student. So, again, getting to know them. This is activities like Lexia. That's stuff our district does. Prodigy is something our district does. I have got music, because this particular student likes to listen to music. It soothes them down, calms them down some. Just take a break. Have a bean bag. Whatever it is they want, just 5 minutes. Give it to them. Drawing. They can draw. Whatever it is, like I said, this is student specific. Everybody's different, so I have different ones for different kids. Depends on what they like. A toy box. They could go get sensory toys. I have different things that they can use in that. Then Play-Doh. This student likes Play-Doh, so they can have Play-Doh. But in order to get it, they have to earn the 3 stars. So when they earn one, I'm going to put the star here. And then they earn another, and vice versa. So then that way they can, again, this is responsibility that they can self-monitor. And then what happens when they don't follow? What's the consequence? Well, the first thing I do is we have a private discussion, just me and the student. We try to, I try to figure out what's going on, what's bothering them, and work on that. Then if that doesn't help, we do a think and share. So I will send them to the cool down area, and they will have to sit and think about why they did this behavior. No, this isn't a timeout. This is just a time for them to take a break and figure out why they're responding the way they are responding. Then they have to come to me and tell me why they got upset or what caused it, and so that we can try to work on it to prevent it from happening in the future. I also use dojo points. Students love the dojo points. We work for big things for dojo points. It could be a popcorn party. It could be watching a movie. It could be, a few minutes of me reading to them, just different things. The next thing is a parent contact. That's when I'll call the parent and say, hey, little Jane, she hit so-and-so today, and, we tried to talk to her. We went through our steps, and it didn't help. Then the last thing is, of course, referral to the office. One thing that I will that I really do not ever like to do, and I don't do, is don't take their recess or playtime. That is something, we all need our time. Some of us, it might be a hot bath for an adult, It might be just a hot bath, no disturbances, just my time. It may be sitting on the porch swing, anything like that. So this is the same thing. Students need their recess, and they need their playtime. Don't take that from them. 15 minutes, however long you get. If they can't get along with other students, take them to a place that they're by themselves. The aide and you can watch them, take them to a certain area, let them run, let them play, let them, basketball, whatever it is. But they need their recess. They need their time. I highly recommend it. So again, if you can go to the Conscious Discipline site and look up their book. Their book there, their dolls, how it works. And you can also go to the Zone of Regulations, and it is amazing too. Thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed.